How's it going, everyone? I'm your host, the Carolina Collector. Before I begin, I want to say thank you so much to each and every single one of you for helping to make this channel what it has become. I'm pushing hard to reach 1,000 subscribers, so if you like what you see and you enjoy the content, I really appreciate it if you would subscribe, smash that like button, hit the bell to receive notifications, and of course, comment in the comment section below. Also, I do have an eBay store called the Carolina Collector 001. The link is in the description box below. I sell loose sports cards and various other items from time to time. I am slowly trying to put some new stuff up on my eBay store's page, but unfortunately today I was very busy, and right now it's about 20 minutes after midnight my time, Tuesday on the East Coast, so I'm having to make this video late because I'm anticipating a very busy Wednesday. So I wanted to get this out of the way because I thought this was pretty interesting. But anyway, if you want to help to support the channel, that's how you can do it. I do have a couple outstanding orders I have to get out the door. I had one of my customers paid for their order. The other one, I waited for the 5 days. They didn't pay. I reported them, blocked them, and relisted. But unfortunately, that's just the nature of the business. But with that being said, to everybody that's been supporting me and supporting this channel through my eBay store, you guys and gals are awesome. So, as you can see, I have a pretty decent collection of New York Giants Mitchell and Ness jerseys. Well, at least you would think I did. These are 3 examples of players from an era when the Giants were practically unstoppable on the field. This is my Mark Bavaro jersey. This is a Mitchell and Ness kit that I reviewed here on the channel a long time ago when I first started. And I just wore this the other day. As you can see, there's the care tag on the inside. We got the Mitchell and Ness made in the USA, Super Bowl 25 patch. And there's the jock tag for it. It's a really, really, really nice jersey. It's got an old school vibe and an old school feel about it. And tried and true Giants fans, which there are a lot of them down here in North Carolina, surprisingly, when they see a jersey like this, they immediately would say, "Hey, let's go Giants." So these guys still maintain their popularity, even though we're talking well over almost, 2 decades at this point. A lot of these players still hold their weight as far as their reputations are concerned. That goes for good old Phil Simms right here also. That's my Spider 43 jersey. Of course, again, I don't think I reviewed this jersey on the channel, but just to give you a quick insight, there's the jock tag. There's the inside tag for this particular jersey. Mitchell and Ness jerseys were manufactured in different places at that time, but these are both authentic Mitchell and Ness kits, and there's the Spider 43 patch with the Phil Simms. This jersey is actually more accurate than the Bavaro jersey because they tended to have worn heat-transferred letters on their jerseys. So out of the 3, this is probably the most accurate that you're going to see, as close as humanly possible to what these guys would have wore on the field. But I wanted to bolster my collection because I do have a lot of old school football fans that literally live around me. And they notice whenever I wear something that's different. Like this one, for example. This is a majestic, authentic Mike Piazza jersey. Now, I lost a ton of weight, but I wasn't going to just, sell off this jersey. It does look good with a turtleneck and all that kind of stuff, and I do have the USA patch on the side with this particular hat, so it's a nice ensemble. But it is a little big. It's a size 52. I technically wear a size 48 these days, but stay healthy, folks. But anyway, a lot of the people that are around here that are real sports fans, like, they notice a lot of the stuff, especially the throwback stuff that I wear. And I decided to try to track down a Jeff Hostetler jersey. And unfortunately, if you don't know what you're looking for, you may get screwed because there are so many counterfeit jerseys, in particular from Mitchell and Ness. Now, I would have preferred it if it was a Russell Athletic, if it was a Rawlings, a Wilson, or a Sandknit jersey. But unfortunately, a lot of the jerseys that I do see with Jeff Hostetler are completely trashed. The number 5 on it is completely wrong. You don't see the Super Bowl 25 patch on there. And it just overall doesn't look right for the period that it's trying to represent. As you can see with the Mitchell and Ness jerseys here, you have the red and white crossover here on the collar. Obviously, this one was made in China. It is an authentic Mitchell and Ness jersey, but this one was made in China, so it's sized just a little bit differently. And I don't think this one had the care tag. No, this is the combination care tag. Sorry, excuse me. The other one actually has two separate tags, so this is technically the care tag as well. But it is an authentic Mitchell and Ness. So we go back to the Phil Simms. You'll see that this is typically how they are these days. So you'll see the size right there, size 48. This is actually pretty big for a size 48. And there's the care tag on the inside, etc. So depending on where the jersey's made, you'll see a huge quality difference. But essentially, there's really no difference at all, except for maybe like the stitch numbers versus the heat transferred numbers. But essentially, they're the same jersey, And Mitchell and Ness does a great job at replicating player jerseys. But in this case, I wanted a Jeff Hostetler jersey. And I've searched the internet for weeks to try to track down a decent Hostetler. And unfortunately, like I said, with the following or aforementioned companies like Russell Athletic, Wilson, Sandknit, even officially licensed jerseys, unfortunately, they don't get the jersey correct as far as the number 5 is concerned. For whatever reason, they always have the number 5 that's cut off on the corner over here and on the sleeves and on the back. I have no idea why. Now, I have seen Mitchell and Ness jerseys, and again, Mitchell and Ness jerseys tend to be counterfeited quite a bit, just like any other sports jersey. But for whatever reason, Mitchell and Ness jerseys are just really like blatantly out there. And you can tell, especially with the Sammy Baugh jock tag. There are a couple different versions of the Sammy Baugh jock tag, but you can tell if it's fake almost immediately because it doesn't have like that mush face. You can see how sharp mine is. And that goes for any Mitchell and Ness jersey. Here's the Phil Simms again. You look at the jock tag, it's almost identical, but you can see you got a nice clear image of Sammy Baugh on there. So, and I think I have my Don Mattingly Mitchell. Yeah, here we go. So here's my Don Mattingly Mitchell and Ness. Now, this is when they were known as Cooperston Collection back then. But there you are with the same typical size 48 and red tag and all that stuff. So it's real. But you got to be careful because, usually when it comes to the Mitchell and Ness tags, if it has even a little bit of hint of red in the tag, or it's been tainted red or whatever have you because of the type of stitching, or if it's long like this, most likely it's fake. But anyway, I've been wanting a Jeff Hostetler jersey, and a lot of the Hostetler jerseys that I've seen they're just horrible. And I have seen a couple of Mitchell and Ness jerseys, but, with all the knowledge that I've gained over the years, I really didn't trust what I was looking at until I saw this. Now, this is a repro jersey or a third party or a knockoff. Call it what you want. It is what it is. And the only reason that I bought it's because the photos were nice and clear. And everything about this jersey is an almost exact match to my Phil Simms and my Mark Bavaro jerseys. And there are obvious differences. Number one, you could tell that this is not a real Mitchell and Ness jersey just because of the tag alone. You could see it right there. 100% polyester, made in the Philippines, but at least they put a care tag on it. You know what I mean? So at least you got that. It doesn't have a jock tag on the jersey, as you would expect. And at least with these two, again, depending on where they're manufactured, this one here tends to be a little bit heavier than this one. But again, with the exception of just some of the design choices that they made between the two factories that manufactured these two jerseys in particular, they're virtually the same jersey. It's just the materials and the way it was put together. But essentially, they are, for all intents and purposes, authentic Mitchell and Ness jerseys. So this had the look and feel of an actual Mitchell and Ness jersey. The only dead giveaway for me when I saw it, besides the neck tag and no jock tag was the back of the jersey. It looked correct. The number looked correct. This looked correct. And then, of course, the other giveaway that you can tell that this thing is a replica or a third party or a knockoff, this badge should be up on the shoulder. Lawrence Taylor jerseys, Banks jerseys, again, Bavaro, Phil Simms jerseys, all their patches are always up on the shoulder here. So this one is way too low. But with all that being said, I'm extremely impressed with the quality of this jersey. Comparing it to two actual Mitchell & Ness jerseys from two different manufacturing companies, or manufacturing factories, I should say, excuse me, it fits right in. I mean, you wouldn't even be able to tell, except for a few color differences and the way the sleeves are made and maybe the stitching. It's a little bit lighter in blue than the other two, but for all intents and purposes, it does a really, really good job in representing Jeff Hostetler's jersey. And I've seen Heritage, I think they're called Heritage jerseys from Mitchell & Ness, but they look cheap. They got the NFL logo here. I know as the Giants uniform progressed to where it is today, they did eventually have an NFL logo right here on the collar, but that was later on in Hostetler's career, etc. Again, you could see what an authentic patch looks like on an authentic Mitchell & Ness. It's nice and clean and looks really nice and heavy duty. Whereas this one clearly is a repro. I mean, you can see how sparkly and shiny it is. It should not be that sparkly and shiny. But, again, trying to find a decent Hostetler jersey for me, I wasn't going to buy just anything. I wanted it stitched. I wanted it to be accurate, or at least close to accurate, as my other two Mitchell & Ness jerseys that I got here. And I know I keep referring to this as a Mitchell & Ness jersey. It's clearly not. But it has the same look, the same vibe, the same feel, almost the exact same stitching patterns. I mean, when I got the jersey, there were no issues, no stains, no pulls, no anything like that. I was very impressed by this. It's not often I rant and rave about third-party stuff or knockoff stuff. But in this case, I really have to say, and this goes for certain Transformers, by the way, New Age Romulus or New Age Romulus, aka G1 handgun, P30, Walther P38 handgun on its way. Things like that. I mean, I'm absolutely astonished that this jersey looks as good as it does for a third party or a knockoff or a repro. And it fits right in. I mean, if I didn't tell you about the little details on this thing, unless you're a collector like I am, the giveaways, again, like I said, the care tag, there should be another tag in here, which there clearly isn't. Like you could tell by the stitching, on the inside, for example, is really not up to snuff when it comes to these guys. But, the patch is too shiny and too sparkly. The nameplate on the back, as far as Hostetler's name is concerned, it's got the same font shape. But here, you look at a Bavaro, for example, the letters are just a little too big for this particular jersey. So little things like that are a giveaway. And then you compare that to the Phil Simms jersey, and you can see how pronounced Simms is. Again, they're shorter in stature compared to these guys, but they have the proper shape. I've seen a lot of Hostetler jerseys out there that don't have the same font shape as this one does. So when it arrived earlier today, I was shocked, and I tried it on immediately. And I really have nothing bad to say about this jersey. This is one of those cases, again, like when I discussed the New York Yankees turtleneck nonsense. This is one of those times where it's like, I want my cake, but I have to eat it too at the same time. And I'm not going to settle for, some garbage out there. And it happened to be that when I saw this, I knew I had to have it. A lot of the jerseys that I see out there are so beat up and so mangled, and a lot of, like the Russell ones, for example, or if you find Apex jerseys, for example, or Wilson jerseys, a lot of them are heat transferred, like that Phil Simms is right there, but it's all worn out and cracked and blah, blah, blah. The number 5 is wrong, or it's too thin, and you could tell that an outside company, or maybe when Modell's or Sports Authority was open at that time, that they probably put those numbers and letters on there, and it looks like crap. But in this case, if I didn't tell you that this was a fake or a knockoff or a third party, if I were to walk around in the street with this thing, you probably wouldn't even notice it unless I pointed out these little differences. Now, the debate I'm having, like what I did with the Bavaro jersey, which I was able to have fixed, by the way, when I did that review, was to have the patch repaired because I wanted the jersey to be as accurate as possible to what he would have wore during Super Bowl 25. And now we have that situation again where the patch is placed incorrectly, and when you flip the jersey, it's a single stitch that goes around. So I know I have a replacement patch somewhere in my boxes. I know I bought one a long time ago that was intended for my Bavaro jersey, and even potentially that Sims, if I wanted to convert that to a Super Bowl jersey. But with that being said, I left the spider patch alone, and I was able to get that repaired professionally. So it looks good, and I'm not going to mess with that anymore. But this can hopefully be removed and moved up into its proper position, which is on the shoulder, which is how the Bavaro jersey is. And that's how the Phil Simms jersey is as well. So, but for all intents and purposes, to me, as is, I mean, if you didn't know any better, you probably would think that this was a Mitchell & Ness jersey. And this is one of those cases where I have to say I am actually quite impressed with this particular knockoff jersey. I mean, it does the job. If you were to go on eBay right now, you're going to see all kinds of Jeff Hostetler jerseys where you could see they're just really wonky. Like somebody used it to wipe off their car or clean their toilet with or something like that. So, but this one I really wrestled with. I was like, oh man, I knew something was off when there was no jock tag in the photos, and I saw this in the photos. I knew immediately. In particular, having an authentic Mark Bavaro jersey, I already knew that this patch was way off. Especially not just the fact that it's too shiny, but its placement is wrong. But with all that being said, now that I have it in hand and I'm looking at it and comparing it with two authentic Mitchell & Ness kits, to me, it's worth it. It's really worth it. I really have to say. So I got very lucky with this jersey. I'm not going to complain about it. Obviously, I'm not here to try to promote knockoffs or counterfeit items or anything like that. You want to try to get it, at least for me, I love authentic stuff. Again, I'm wearing a New York Mets Majestic player version jersey from Mike Piazza. Now, it's not right off his back, but it is an authentic version. You got the jock tag right there, as a matter of fact. So, I'm quite pleased. I'm actually very impressed, because sometimes when you buy knockoff jerseys, and there are a lot, like Eli Manning jerseys are probably one of the most counterfeited jerseys out there. But there are a lot of fake Lawrence Taylor jerseys. There are a lot of fake Phil Simms jerseys out there, and you got to know what to look for. But, having two frames of reference with these two over here, it was an easy decision for me to take a look at this and say, all right, it is a knockoff. It's a third-party jersey. But it has the same look and feel. And I tell you, if you didn't know any better and you were to pick up these two, with maybe a little bit of a weight difference between the authentic and the replica, there's almost no difference at all, to tell you the truth, except for that patch right there, which needs to be relocated to the shoulder. Otherwise, it fits right in. It's a perfect substitute for an authentic New York Giants Jeff Hostetler jersey. And don't forget, he was a third-string quarterback, and then when Phil Simms got hurt, especially when they made it to the Super Bowl against the Bills, well, look what happened. The guy was a tank, so he got his shot. This is one of the best There's another reason why I got this Hostetler jersey, too, because he was an underdog. He was a third-string quarterback for the Giants, because the Giants had a solid quarterback in Phil Simms. And then once Simms got hurt, Hostetler stepped in and took his place, and Hostetler took off and proved himself that, and this goes for anything in life. Sometimes you got to support the underdog, because you never know what they're capable of. I mean, look at what's his name, DeVito from the Giants, during last season and this season. I mean, after the whole Daniel Jones nonsense, man, Tommy DeVito was not that bad. You know what I mean? But Now they got lock and everything. I'm not going to get into all of that discussion with you fine ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure you Giants fans are probably doing like what I was doing and hitting yourself in the head with a brick because it's frustrating to see what's going on with these guys. Believe me, I'm with you. But anyway, I'm very happy to have this. There's really not much more to say about this particular jersey, except I got very lucky with this. Again, I'm not trying to encourage anyone to buy knockoff or counterfeit items, because, you're encouraging people to do things they shouldn't be doing. But in this case, I wanted a Jeff Hostetler jersey that would fit into my collection. I have not found one to date until now, and I could not be happier with this. This is another example of having a New York Yankees fan-made or bootleg or KO turtleneck, which I talked about in a recent video. It's the same thing practically. You wouldn't even know it unless you really pulled it apart and analyzed it and looked at it, and it fits right in with my collection. So I'm not going to complain. I think that this was well worth it compared to the other garbage out there that I've seen. And I'd rather have a high-quality replica like this than have a blatantly fake. And if you've ever seen fake Mitchell and Ness jerseys, especially when it comes to the Sammy Baugh jock patch on there, if you're a collector like me, they are just awful. And that's one of the biggest tells. But counterfeiters are getting better and better and better. Same thing when it comes to the Mitchell and Ness tag. Again, I think I mentioned this in the video earlier, that if this has like a bit of a red tint to it or red taint to it, then and especially if it's long like this or it's got a red finish to it, most likely it's fake. So anyway, folks, it's starting to get late, starting to wear down a little bit. Again, I wasn't expecting to make a video this late, but I know I'm going to have a real busy day. If you watched my YouTube short that I uploaded earlier today with my grocery bill, oh my God, man, I'm probably in it today for over 600 and change. So I'm definitely going to need a good night's sleep tonight to kind of like forget about today. Like today was just awful, from filling up my car with gas to buying groceries to, taking care of some of the small bills. And so anyway, I want to try to keep it positive, folks. But anyway, here's my Jeff Hostetler jersey. I'm very happy to have this. I know it's not an authentic jersey, but at the same time, whoever manufactured this jersey, they did a really good job. I'm very happy that the seller sold this to me for the price that they did. I thought maybe it was a little too expensive because I already knew going into this that it was a knockoff. But I tell you what, having it next to the two Mitchell and Ness jerseys, the authentic ones, you wouldn't even know it. It literally fits right in, with the only tell being that should be up there and there should be a jock tag there. Otherwise, could you tell? Not encouraging buying counterfeit goods. I'm just saying that for my personal collection and my personal use, I'm very satisfied with this. So again, this is a case of having my cake and eating it too. Sometimes, unfortunately, the companies don't listen to the fans. Listen to the fans. Do I really have to get into this argument again? Or this? Or this? You know what I mean? I really don't want to get into that argument again. I think I've made my point plenty on this channel. So anyway, this is going into a 25-minute rant. I don't want it to go any further. So thank you, everybody, for checking out this video. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell to receive notifications. And also you can support my eBay store by clicking on a link in the description box below and pick up some of my sports cards. Yes, I promise you, I am trying my best to wiggle some time free to finally get some cards out there. I do have another order I do have to process, and hopefully I can get those cards out by tomorrow. I'm going to try. Of course, always check out my YouTube shorts. I'm always updating my customers should something go wrong or whatever have you, or when I'm actually ready to ship said orders. So take care, everybody. God bless. Stay safe. I am your host, the Carolina Collector. I will see you very soon. Take care, everyone.